Hi, it's Cheryl from Caribou Country Lifestyle. I just got my coffee. I've got my tomatoes, getting ready to plant my tomatoes, and I just wanted to bring you along to be able to see how I do that. So I have 12 varieties of tomatoes that I'm going to be planting today. And I just wanted to talk about the different types of tomatoes that there are. There are two types of tomatoes. You have your indeterminate tomato and your determinate tomato. The determinate tomato is a bush style of tomato. It doesn't need to be pruned. It doesn't need to be staked. It just grows in more of a compact bush. And then the other one is your indeterminate. Now your indeterminate, that can grow up to 15 feet high. It has to be staked and it has to be heavily pruned. It will continue to grow and produce tomatoes over a longer period of time, whereas the bush tomato usually sets all their fruit in a shorter amount of time for those tomatoes. So I will go through what my determinate tomatoes are. Those are the first ones that I'll start with. I have here, I'm going to start with my Viva Italia tomato, and that is an Italian tomato. It is determinate, so it will not need to be staked, and I can have that in a container with just a regular tomato cage, not having to have it pruned a lot neither. So, and it's the Italian tomato, so it has your plum sized tomato, more for your pastes, canning, and that type of thing. Okay, so my Italia tomato is right here. So I am just starting 5 seeds. I only actually want 3 plants. I'll start 5 seeds and I'll see where that takes me and pick the best 5 plants out of there. I may give the remainder of the plants to a friend. So my next one is called the Tumbler Tomato. And again, another determinate. It is going to be one that I'm going to have in a hanging basket on my deck. So anything that's not indeterminate, all my determinate, I can have them on my deck, whereas my indeterminate, I will be planting them in my raised beds and staking them on vertical supports. Okay, so this is my tumbler, and that is, oh, my tumbler is over right in front of me, there. Oh my goodness, I can't see. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to dump the seeds back into my bag, fold this up so I don't lose them. I'm going to put these back into here. Next is my tumbling yellow cherry tomato. Again, I will be putting these into a container, a hanging basket actually. I will have these in. I'm pretty excited to be starting these for a yellow tomato. Okay, yellow tumbler is over here. Okay, so again, and this one I kind of wrapped the bag when I was trying to open the yellow tumbler packet. So these extra seeds, I'm actually going to put them in a little Ziploc bag just so I don't lose them, and I'll have to label that with a little sticky label. My other determinant, I haven't gotten them yet. I have one more, and it was the Lemon Boy. I'm still waiting to receive that in the mail. The Lemon Boy, again, I will have those in a container on the deck. Lemon Boy are actually low in acid, and I've had them before, and I've really enjoyed them a lot. So, okay, moving on. Now we're in the indeterminate varieties. My first one is chocolate sprinkles. I've heard a lot about chocolate sprinkles. They are just a little like a cherry tomato on your plant. Okay, I have those right there. Oh, sorry. Let's get that one out. Over here. Okay. Yes. Good to have the tags and everything labeled to keep yourself organized. Definitely. That helps. My next smaller variety of tomato is called a natural black cherry. A lot of these I have never done before, and I'm just venturing out and trying a bunch of different things, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't care for, whether or not I would do it again. This will be the year to decide that. Because usually I've always done an Italian tomato, I've done a regular tomato, I've done a couple of cherry tomatoes, and then I've tried a couple of bigger tomatoes. And that's about it. I'm really branching out this year on starting a lot more varieties. Yellow pear. I have done the yellow pear quite a few times. I like the yellow pear. My first year of doing the yellow pear was actually, I had a really good year with them. The last 2 years, I have found that when they're ripe, they're starting to split. And I actually did a little research on that, and it says that the reason why they split, the yellow pear split, is because they've had a lot of rain or a lot of water, and that's what makes them split. So that was good to know. I don't know how you can prevent that from happening. I don't think you can. I think you just have to pick your tomatoes as they're ready before those things happen. Be a little more diligent about getting your tomatoes started. This next one here is a sweetie cherry, and it actually came in a little foil pouch. A little bit of freshness, the sweetie cherry right there. I like to dump them out onto the plate so that I can actually see the seeds, and then that makes it a little easier to just take 1 or 2 at a time. Some of the seeds that I've done, flower seeds that I've done, have been pretty small. So I just put 5 or 6 on my finger and put them in a spot. I'm fine with that. I can always take out the ones that I don't really, that if I have too many growing in one spot, I can either transfer it over to another spot, or I can pluck it out and not even have to worry about it. These are the Amish Paste, another Italian type of tomato, type of aroma tomato. And it has that these will have tomatoes in 83 days. So 83 days, that is from the time that you start the seeds. You have 83 days. So for us, I'm starting them now. That gives me April, May, June. I'm thinking they'll be ready probably the end of June, beginning of July. And that's good. Okay, and then I have, it's called the New Girl tomato. And, oops, I got way too many on my plate. Just need a couple. I only need 5. So, New Girl, they are a little bit more of an earlier variety of tomato. And it's just a standard size tomato. There's nothing too special about the New Girl. Okay, my next one is Rainbow Blend, and this is the Brandywine Rainbow Blend. So with the Rainbow Blend, the colors are, we have varieties such as black, pink, red, and yellow tomatoes. Add to the Brandywine tomatoes. Some can be Cherokee Purple, Green Zebra, White Wonder, and Beautiful Orange. So it's quite a variety of these ones. The Brandywine are also a larger variety. So it'll be nice to have those, and I might even try weighing a few just to see how big they get. I have one tomato here that gets quite large, and it's not the Brandywine, but I don't know, I might have to do a little competition between the Brandywine and this other tomato. So this is another Brandywine, but it's just a straight red Brandywine. And there's that one there. Okay, we'll put those back in. Okay, my last variety here, and this is a big one too, is the Ox Heart. This one gets ready in 87 days, and it is quite a large tomato, a very, what they would call as a meaty tomato, lots of pulp to it. But these tomatoes can grow up to 3 pounds. So I don't even know what a 3 pound tomato is even going to look like. So I just can't wait to see what these tomatoes are going to be. And the Ox Heart, it actually, when I look at the picture of them, it's in the shape of a heart. So that's pretty interesting too. I think that was another reason why I wanted to try those. So, okay, so that's it for my tomatoes. And I'm just gonna put these up here. And I have a cover here for them already. And this tray, I was going to be starting some flowers. Yesterday, I started some eggplant, and I've never grown eggplant before, but I've been making a few good dishes that I really enjoy eggplant. Now I'm only gonna probably have 3 plants to start. This is my first year with eggplant, so I'll do 3 plants. I also started some leeks. I've never done leeks before. What else did I do? I did my herbs. So I've done my basil, I've done the spearmint, I did some oregano, thyme, and parsley. So I did all of those as well yesterday. I started some, I actually did a whole tray of just alyssum because alyssum is a really good pest deterrent, and I want to have that around in my garden beds, my raised garden beds, around my vegetables. I will also be starting marigolds for that same reason, and I will be doing nasturtiums too in my garden as a pest deterrent. So for this tray, I'm going to be planting some, I have 3 varieties of hollyhocks. I have some balsam, some stalks, portulaca, and some, what is this? Lavaterra, the silver cup Lavaterra. So I am planning on starting that with this tray. I did put some water in the bottom of the tray to let the dirt soak up the water from the bottom, but I'm just going to give it a little mist on the top here. Then I just open this up, and I am going to just give it a little spray. Just give the top of it a little spray, a little bit of moisture. I also want to take you to have a look at my peppers, because I did my peppers a couple of weeks ago, and they take a little bit longer to germinate, and I wasn't sure, but they're coming up now pretty well. Okay, lock that. Just give it a little mist there. There are some flowers that I was making note of that are supposed to, the deer do not like. And some of them, I made a list of them. There was astilbe. So I have actually started some astilbe. And astilbe is actually a perennial, and you can, I bought that usually by a plant. This is the first year that I've decided to start it by seed, and it is not really one that you would put in with full sun, but it doesn't mind a bit of sun, but it definitely doesn't like full sun. So the deer are not supposed to like that. There's salvia, I have that started, foxgloves, I have that, marigolds, lupins, lobelia. I was saying how the deer didn't like my lobelia, took it out of my flower planter and actually spat it out on the ground and didn't even eat it. So why it decided it needed to take it out of my flower planter, I have no idea. They don't like alyssum, so I have alyssum, Sweet Williams, Dusty Miller, calendula, snapdragons, nasturtiums, nicotiana, portulaca. I'm basically growing most of those flowers, so I want to do a little test demonstration. I'm going to have a couple of planters on the outside of my garden, and I'm going to plant these flowers, and I am going to see how many get disrupted by the deer, because we have quite a thoroughfare of deer that come through our yard, and they just pluck out whatever they want. And it's sometimes it's frustrating and annoying. I mean, as cute as they are, I don't want them eating all my flowers and eating all my vegetables and basically ruining all my hard work. So I'm definitely going to be planting some of those into a container and see how that goes. And yeah, we'll definitely keep track of that kind of stuff as well. So I am just going to actually let this set and wait before I start planting my seeds. Here are my pepper plants. And these are my different varieties that I have. Like, they all are doing so well. And I have 9 different varieties because I have 18 cells. So, yeah, it's actually pretty exciting. So I love this time of year. It's fun to be gardening. I'm gonna get up here. And I'm just glad that things are finally coming along, that we're at a point in time now that we can be starting our seeds, and the snow is slowly melting, very slow. We had a bit of a snowstorm yesterday. That's not very encouraging since it was March the 28th yesterday, and I keep saying the groundhog didn't see his shadow, and we're not supposed to be having any more crazy weather. It's supposed to get an early spring, and I'm just not seeing it, not yet. So hope you are able to get past all the snow. Some of you probably have, yours is already melted, but we are definitely not melted at all. When I look out, I don't know if you can see that, but that is a lot of snow in the yard. It's not good. So hopefully it melts fast, and thanks for joining me. Until next time. If you have any comments or questions that you want to leave, go ahead and we'll talk to you again.